avoid legal snafus by telling people they're being recorded. So you guys are being recorded, by the way,
Thank you.
obviously. All right. All right.
Snafus.
All right, ready?
Snafu sounds like a great rapper name.
Snafu. Like he
Sounds
was
like,
like the lost member of the Wu-Tang.
He
or
sounds
like
he sounds
a
like
wizard,
Malaysian rapper.
Yeah.
like a wizard, like the great
Like
Snafu.
like Shaq's nemesis in what's that movie?
Kazam.
Kazam.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. It's been a long time since we did this. I'm not gonna do any intros or anything like that because we're just happy to be doing a podcast. It's been a long time. I just want to introduce again our guest. One coming back for the maybe I think it's the third time, right?
Third time,
Yeah,
yeah.
third time. Eleazar Guzman, and of course my co-host Andrew.
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back.
Yeah. So we're gonna,
Still
we're
going
gonna go.
strong.
Yeah, we're
You,
gonna go into the state of the podcast a little later, but thank you guys for coming and checking us out again. We're back from the dead, and we wanted to start off talking about something that's going on right now in the country. It's really mobilized us to get back together and jump on the old Skype call. This whole situation that's going on in Texas, it's really devastating. In New Jersey, we've had a pretty solid winter this winter. It's been like a real winter, to be honest with you. How has the snow been by you by you, Eleazar?
It's been pretty fucking bad,
Yeah.
honestly. Uh, so you remember when it was that big one, that big one that happened recently?
Yeah, yeah. It was like the one before this one.
How much did you get?
Shit. It seemed like 30 inches. God, like it was a lot.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I got at least like maybe 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
Um, I know because I did like 3 or 4 houses. So I shoveled, I helped shovel my house, and I shoveled the neighbor's house, and I shoveled 2 other houses.
are you on
One
shoveling?
day.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are
You
are
made
you
some
on
bank though.
are you on that app Shoveler?
What? There's an app?
Of course. So it's like Uber but for shoveling. It's called Shoveler, Shovler. Give them some from a free spot. Jose's holding up the White Claw too. I guess they're getting
Yeah,
a
I got
free
the
spot too.
got the claws
Flip
out tonight.
bosses, so.
Yeah, yo, that's crazy. I heard about Shoveler though.
Well, I never
Shoveler,
heard about that. That's awesome.
you're just
Do
I
you
mean,
doing
have
the
to
old school
register?
paper route style.
just
You
knocking
have,
on people's doors.
yeah, I've been doing the Jehovah's Witness style. That's what I was raised on. So
Oh, you're a Jehovah's Witness?
yeah,
I,
bro.
I've been
Yeah.
meaning to ask you, does your email have any ties to that?
My email, oh, a global doorstep.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so there was a time where I was trying to be a book publisher. So
Oh,
I
okay.
created my own publishing company. I had a website. I bought a bunch of publishing rights to some books, and I created my own publishing company, and it was called Global Doorstep.
Not gonna lie, it kind of sounds like one of those like shell companies that you hear about, like one of these powerful politicians like just started this company where they could like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like Bill
Like
Gates is
fund
siphoning cotton seeds
Like
through
a
it.
super,
siphon. Yeah, they're siphoning funds to it.
it's like a
Yeah,
super PAC website.
exactly. It's
Hmm.
like PNAC.
Peanut.
You remember
Yeah,
PNAC?
I can see that.
Oh man, yeah, dude, that's crazy though. But you made some money.
No, I actually
Oh,
lost
oh,
$1,000.
you did it. No, no, I meant not the book publishing, the snow shoveling.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you make money with the snow shoveling?
No, yeah, with the snow shoveling, yeah, I made like almost 200, something like that.
nice.
Not bad. Yeah, that's a good day.
Yeah,
Back in
for
the day, you'd go out and you'd make like 100. Like
yeah,
quick hundo.
yeah.
I got a funny story about the snow and the storms that we had recently. So, day back from work, we're all sitting in the office. Our office setup is all open, so we all communicate with each other pretty regularly. We're all comparing like, oh, how much snow did you think you got? How much snow do you think you got? And my supervisor turns around loud as hell, and he's like, I, I got 8 inches last night, and I just start laughing my ass off. So I'm not gonna say out loud why it was funny. So I walk over to him and I tell him. He just starts cracking up. It was funny. Yeah,
like
obviously I have to
it
be
like
there, but
live in the office.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's That's a doozy right there. You got the manager, just saying, keeps repeating he's got 8 inches. Dude, it was pretty bad. Like, I'm managing like a storage place right now, and they don't shut down for shit. I mean, like they weren't shut down for COVID, nothing. But that first day, it was like Monday. I think it fell on a Monday that like
Yeah, it
it
did. It was a
started
Monday
Sunday
and a
night
Tuesday.
into a Monday. We were
Yeah,
closed, so that's like an epic like feat that they
yeah,
closed down the storage.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Did
Um,
you see that 100 car pileup?
that was
Where?
in Texas also, right?
Yeah, that was in Texas. It was last week.
Oh,
It was like 5 tractor trailers involved. Like 4 people died. People had to
uh,
get airlifted. They're just
uh,
like not prepared for that type of shit. For us, it's just like another winter day, but for them, it's like the fucking apocalypse.
they just like acting a fool. They don't know what to do, so they
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
driving crazy.
Those pilot videos are so crazy because like you're the ones I didn't see the one you're talking about but the ones I've seen, it's like there's nothing they can do to stop it. They're gonna pile up on the other cars. They're gonna crash into the other cars. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, it is crazy because you're watching it and you're like, all right,
This
somebody's
guy's
gonna,
gonna stop.
yeah, this guy's
yeah,
gonna
but
stop.
he can't stop.
It reminds me of like when I was trying to be like sober, and like you were just like in it, you're just like drinking all the time. You're like, all right, I'm gonna stop tonight. No, just keep going right right into the pile up.
And then your life became 100 car pileup.
Yeah, yeah, that's when you hit rock bottom. Once you hit the 100 car pile up. Yeah, but that Texas shit is crazy. They got
Yeah,
like no power going on, and
Yeah, and fuck,
yeah.
did you see that a tweet resurfaced from Ted Cruz talking shit about California's energy
yeah,
policies?
yeah,
Now
exactly.
he just looks like an idiot.
He's a hypocrite.
Hmm.
He's a hypocrite. He said that
You
that's what
guys
happens
heard?
under democratic, like whatever rule. What
You guys,
happened?
you guys heard who they tried to blame it on, right?
Who?
No.
No, what they tried to blame it on, I guess. They tried to blame it on the windmills, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Yeah,
were
the
saying that.
wind turbines or whatever the fuck. They try to blame it on those things. They're like,
Turbines.
that's why we're in this shitty situation because of wind powered energy.
What does that even have
Yeah,
to do with it, though? Like, what
Well,
was their logical explanation?
so they have something going on in Texas called the Green New Deal,
Yeah,
and the
they
Green
actually
New
started
Deal
that.
is basically, so I don't know if you ever heard of the New Deal.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think it was
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Yeah, yeah. So it's basically the same kind of concept, but energy based. And but so it's like healthy energy, like solar, wind, all that type of shit.
But
And
when did
really
that get
trying to
passed, though?
sell it.
Because I know the left wing has been pushing to get that passed, but
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
in Texas, a red state, how was that passed?
Well, so they're trying to pass it,
Oh, okay.
or they're trying to pass it or they're past it, but the Republicans are super against it. So
yeah, because they want to use the old fossil fuels and shit.
Yeah, it's big oil lobbying in Washington.
yeah, so I think it's hilarious that they're like, okay, the whole big reason is the fucking wind's not blowing hard enough. I mean, fucking turbines.
The turbines are frozen and the winds.
Did you
Yeah, they.
either of you ever see that movie Who Killed the Electric Car?
Who killed the? No.
It was like
I
at
read the
least
synopsis though.
at least 20 years ago. It came out. Basically, we could have had electric cars like much, much sooner, but
Yeah,
all these huge oil companies just kept killing it and killing it and killing it because obviously they were profiting off of fossil fuels and our use of them.
Hmm.
But
they're gonna push. They're gonna keep pushing. Till eventually, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? Fucking California's gonna break off of the fucking U.S. or some shit. Some crazy shit.
well, you've seen
Uh,
like the crazy shit that happens with fracking, even
yeah, no, I mean all the water, like the people's like water in the
lighting on
area.
fire.
Yeah,
Yo, my uncle, my uncle is like he's like he's in charge of like a fracking company. Like he's like a manager or some shit.
probably making bank though.
He's making stacks, but
Stacks.
he's making stacks.
He's stacking it
But
up.
it's funny because like you tell him like, hey, there's all these fucked up documentaries about fracking.
Yeah.
He's like, they're fucking liars. They're lying. They're not even. They, it's not even like that. Try 2020. Try 2020. Like you just he. The funny thing is he's a
2020.
Puerto Rican dude and he's dark skinned
Mm.
Puerto Rican dude. but he's in charge of like the East Coast or like the New Jersey chapter of like Halliburton or
Ah,
what the fuck it is.
Man,
yeah.
The it's basically the same. It's like it's that company that Dick Cheney used to own.
Yeah, it's Halliburton.
Yeah, but they do most of the fracking in the United States.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, it's just weird, man. It's weird because I don't know. You're Spanish, Jose, right?
yeah.
Obviously. Do you have Trump?
Yeah,
Do you have any
obviously.
supporters in your family, bro?
So I have what?
You have Trump supporters in your family? Or
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
he
pretty
does.
crazy. I mean, I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot real quick and just put them on blast. But like the older generation of my family that came to this country, they do support Trump. But I think you know what it is? It's like a lot of Hispanics, even like in Florida, it was very common that a lot of the Cuban population, because they scared them. They scared them. They like, oh, the Democrats are bringing communism in, and not just that, but like they see a lot of their like inner cities going to shit, and they're like, oh, like, well, this is gonna turn to Venezuela, and they scared them, and they jumped on board.
yeah, it,
It's crazy.
it's mind blowing because like
Had,
because he actively doesn't give a fuck about Spanish people.
Yeah, of
Like
course, yeah.
proactively doesn't give a
I
fuck.
I saw some crazy shit. I think it was Vice or one of these like more left-leaning news outlets. And they were talking about like how, especially in Cuba, the GOP is really capitalizing on the whole communist thing. So like, calling Biden, Obama, pretty much all of the Democrats leftist socialists, and
Yeah.
and just like creating the most like crazy propaganda-filled videos and circulating them on WhatsApp because they were saying like a good chunk of immigrant communities in South Florida get their news on these WhatsApp groups, and
Really?
people, yeah, and people are just like sending the craziest shit. There's a crazy one. It was like the geographic United States, the 48, and it was like Obama just like this, and there was like flames with the country burning behind him. It was crazy.
I mean, you know what it is? It's like every president's got blood on their hands. You know what I mean? You can't say it's just pretty much like everyone says, like everyone's got an agenda. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? And whoever put you there, you have to make good with the people that put you there.
Yeah.
And with Obama, it was more like he secretly kept the immigration thing going, and he did a lot of like
Drone
taking
strikes.
out of yeah, well, drone strikes, yeah, that's, I mean, that's more of like the war crimes area of what he did. But he also had a big role in like following what Bush did with like what is it, like the what do you call it, the pesticides and all that shit with Monsanto. Like
Oh
he had a lot to do with that too. Like he kind of like, maybe he didn't know a lot about it because he's a lawyer. I mean, he's a very smart guy. But like he was letting a lot of companies like trademark, like pretty much, it's like, when they
Like
say, oh,
seeds and stuff.
yeah, like when they say that, like, oh, a guy who invented the chair doesn't pay, every time you make a chair you don't pay a guy. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to trademark like fucking basic like genomes of seeds. So it's
Well, yeah,
basically
they're
anything
still
you
trying to
grow.
do that.
Yeah, anything you grow, you owe them money, and they were trying to get away with it, but other countries are too smart, like in Europe and whatever, like. But Obama, he kind of turned a blind eye to that whole thing, you know what I mean? And he just let that kind of like, so like that. There's some shit he did that wasn't good. Every president, I think, has like skeletons in their closet, like they say.
Yeah, I mean,
But then
Obama
there's
was
the
not
there's like the
like
human
this
rights
whole.
aspect. Like you gotta like, like at least be decent. And he was decent in the human rights aspect, not like
Do
Trump.
we do we
So,
know that though? How much torture happened under his administration?
I mean,
yeah, that's the thing about Obama. When you say when you said there's a lot of presidents that have blood on their hands,
yeah,
Obama actually statistically
Has the
has
most?
the most blood on his
Yeah.
hands. He's actually called the most murders or most assassinations than any president ever.
yeah, and that's something that, like, as a public here, we don't we don't like, we ourselves don't want to like get into it too much, just because it's not like happening here. You know what I mean? Like, let's
Yeah.
say like Trump was responsible for, inciting the Capitol Hill. And I know that's debatable for like some Trump supporters. He didn't incite them, but I mean, like, come on. He held a rally like about a mile down from the Capitol right before it happened.
He basically said, "Let's go over there and fucking force them to do
Yeah,
what the fuck I said."
that's
He
I
like
mean,
literally
that's like
said
even
getting
that. He
even
that's
if
like
he
literally
getting a.
didn't
Go
even if
ahead,
he
you go
didn't
ahead.
like force them to do it, like we could just put that all aside. But people repeatedly called on him to like do something to stop it, and he made zero efforts. He really didn't give a shit. I bet you he was loving the show.
Yeah.
oh,
And the thing is, like, I mean, we're just jumping right into
Hello?
Oh, you guys there?
Yeah, I hear
it,
you.
and then
Jose, we missed you there.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. It's there,
am I
but
back now?
Yeah.
yeah, you're back.
Okay. So that incitement or whatever, it was happening like right before they, Mike Pence had like declared his actions, like I guess whatever, like he went against his actions, and then he was like they sent them over there before they knew he was like safe or whatever, like they pretty much like left him up in the air, like they were looking for him when they were going through the Capitol,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
like that crowd.
did you see
They
that?
wanted to hang him. They
Did
did.
you see
Yeah,
the gallows that they built?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's how organized. How first of all organized it was, and how many fucking people there were, bro.
They had the
And
zip ties too.
they could build a fucking gallows with the
And
thousands of people that they had, bro.
yeah, well, I mean, you got like all the fucking carpenters union there, half the fucking carpet, the fucking the fucking 307.
Yeah.
But but aside from that, what else? They killed that woman too. That was
Oh,
coming in and
did you
like
see
a
the
whole
video?
big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see
Do
the
you think
video of her driving to the place?
do you think that they could have like used non-lethal force or like shot somewhere else, or do you think that that was warranted?
You did you watch the you did you I don't know. Maybe I'm not remembering it like everybody else remembered it. But when I watched the video of the guy shooting her, when he shot her, he was kind of like for like a split second, like a split second, like
So he
oh,
just shot off to like
maybe
scare
I
everyone. He was like, "Oh damn!" I
maybe I
fucking hit
shouldn't
somebody.
have shot this bitch in the chest. You know? like that was like
She
ooh.
was
That's
like,
what I thought it was a I thought he didn't mean to hit anyone, and he like tried to shoot at the wall, but she
Yeah,
was
that's
just
what I think.
like been up in the wall, like Walking Dead
That's what,
style, like creeping through,
because I think
and she got hit.
a bunch of people were at those two doors like trying to break in. And they finally break the glass. And the cops are saying like, back off, we are going to shoot you. And then this bitch wants to be the first one to like climb through the window. Like, I mean, look, I feel bad she was killed, but you're putting
Yeah.
yourself in these situations. Like, what did you think was going to happen invading the Capitol?
you guys ever listened to Radio Lab before?
Hmm.
Did you listen to the Capitol Hill the Capitol building episode?
I did not.
So the Capitol building episode, they took footage, not footage, but audio footage
Hmm.
that you didn't see in the news or whatever, and they interviewed the people who the cops who were there that night, and the cops were saying that so when they were first storming the building, they were thinking so what they were doing, how they were doing it, they were like, we should shoot these people like immediately, but they were also thinking all these people who are here, they're not from Washington D.C. They're from all over the country.
Dishi.
Yeah, my bad. I'm fucking. I'm a little buzzed, but so all these people from all over the country, right? They
Hmm.
were most of them were carrying guns, and what the police had realized and communicated with each other, they told each other, don't fire a gun, because the moment you fire a gun, there's only 100 of us. There's 5,000 of these people. Who knows how many guns they have? Then
Yeah.
they really take over the Capitol. You know,
Yeah. You know
and
what?
so
I got lost a little bit on the girl getting shot, but there are also videos of some Republican people that are part of the House of Representatives that were doing tours the day before that were showing people where like specific rooms were and things like that.
Yeah, that was the New
Bigger
Jersey
issue than
the
anything.
New Jersey Congresswoman, I think, was the one who came out with that, right?
Oh, I mean, it was all over Twitter. I don't know. I didn't trace back like where it originated, but they were like there was like literal like I guess you could call it CCTV footage, whatever security footage that showed them, and
It
it
was,
was like people that they could corroborate that were there the next day. You know what I mean?
yeah.
mm,
Then you got all the like the Olympic athlete, the swimmer that's getting like facing 15 years and shit. What do you guys think? Like, you think they should get like high penalties like that?
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean, look, I think there's something to be said for like that whole mob mentality. There's certainly things that people will do in that situation as opposed to like by themselves. I feel like it just creates this whole like I don't know if it's an adrenaline rush or but whatever it is. I mean, we've seen even the looting that happened this past summer. I don't think
Yeah.
most of those people would have stolen anything, but you see one person doing it, you get that like whole adrenaline building up, and it's just like fuck it, I need some new kicks, and you run into Target, and
Yeah, you fucking go into Journeys real quick, you know?
yeah,
No, dude, yeah, I totally get you, but then at the same time, I'll remember cops like, you'll be in the car with your friend and someone's got a like, a dime bag or something like that. Like, oh, you shouldn't have been in the car with your friend. You know what I mean? Like, the same thing. Shouldn't have been in the Capitol Hill with your fucking, NRA friends. Like you got to take that hit. You got to you literally broke into a federal building. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's pretty much
Yeah.
like like when they burnt the Capitol like what is it like 200 years ago or whatever.
the
And
British.
yeah, the British did. You know what I mean? That's like goes down in history as an attack on our country. You know what I mean? Like that's like one of the biggest attacks on our country. This I bet you like 50 years from now, like this is gonna be something that is gonna be considered like, like not like
The day Billy Bob and his 15 cousins, like,
Billy Bob. Yeah, that ain't right, dude. That ain't right. But yeah, Billy Bob wasn't there, but his cousin was. But yeah, I think like it's gonna be looked back on maybe not as a terrorist attack, but like as a negative thing on our country. Like
I
it
think
just
it
looks.
counts as a terrorist attack,
yeah,
honestly.
it is
I
a,
mean,
it
there were
absolutely is.
fatalities. Yeah, the cop died too. That cop that
Yeah,
got
yeah.
shot.
Yo, what is up
You
with all
should-
the cops committing suicide after this, though? That's weird.
What? I
but
didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there's been like 2 or 3 cops that were there on that day that have since committed suicide. Like, what is up with that?
You know what? Because maybe they feel guilty that they let those motherfuckers in. Because there was
Bro,
videos of them.
you're not gonna kill yourself over that.
Dude,
yeah.
maybe. I mean, like the one cop died. Maybe the pressure. You feel like maybe they're good. Like they were talking about going after the police that were there. Maybe you feel the pressure. And you're like, damn, like I did have something to do with this shit.
Under
And let's
pressure.
say a lot of like I'm not gonna go. I'm not anti-cop. I'm not gonna say that. Like, but I know a lot of. Well, I'm not even gonna say I know a lot of cops, but
Jose's got all cops are bastards on his wall.
no, 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 no. That's not me. But what do you call it? I know a lot of cops that I said it again. But anyway, they gotta like be focused for their job. Sometimes they take some little things that help them focus. Some of them hit the gym hard. Like they're just people just like us. You know what I mean? Like some of them are in different states in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of those cops that committed suicide, maybe they were in a tough spot in their life. You know what I mean? Maybe they were going through a divorce. At the
No,
same
no,
time,
no.
they're
I
what do you call it? Like substance abuse, and then on top of that, let's say you let people in the gate for the for the
Th-
Capitol Hill.
But like,
You know,
it's just
so
I
like,
understand what you're saying, and definitely, each case is individual in itself and different circumstances and everything. But you must admit it does look a little coincidental that after this happened,
oh,
the
you're saying
cops.
there's like a secret hand in the background.
I
I'm
don't
s-
know. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything.
Andrew, let me bust out the tinfoil hat real quick. You you saying
have
people get silenced out here?
Hey,
you heard of how many people have committed suicide that worked for Hillary Clinton?
Oh,
It's an insane amount of people.
wow. And this
no,
can be
I guess
this can be verified.
yeah, yeah.
It's like so you have you ever met somebody that had a bunch of pets in their life, like a bunch of pets, right?
Like
And they're
with a bunch.
what happened to your parakeet? He got old and he died. But it's like they've had a dog and a cat since then, and you don't know where the cat's at. You know what I mean? Like that's the same. It's the same way I see how these suicides happen. It's just, oh yeah, we got a new guy. It's so easy to forget. You know what I mean? Because
I,
all
I
these
I hear what you're saying. Like
none of
it's
these
like
people are
easy to
famous
not
that kill
track it
themselves. So
and
yeah,
just go.
why not whack them? Why not fucking get rid the I don't know, man. I think it's too obvious. It's like I'm pretty sure there was at least one guy who killed himself by shooting himself twice in the head. Twice. Twice, the Hillary Clinton situation. Shot himself twice in the head. How do you hit yourself once and you're like, you know what? No, I'm doing it again. I don't know. I highly doubt it, bro.
There's been cases where people try to shoot themselves in the head and it doesn't kill them. They wind up like vegetables. That's why like I've seen people discussing suicide and they say they want like you gotta aim like for the roof of your mouth
Yeah.
because if you do it like this or other ways, there's a good chance that you'll survive it.
Mm-hmm. There's actually, so I'm gonna tell this quick story. There was
And if
Whatever.
anybody's thinking about committing suicide, maybe we should post
Yeah,
like the
please
little hotline
call
number.
the suicide hotline.
Yeah.
Suicide is not cool.
Well,
So,
this might be a slightly funny suicide story.
oh,
So yeah, so there was this guy who was selling everybody like really bad drugs when I was in high school, right? He was selling
oh, this is close to
cocaine and
home.
meth and all types of crazy shit, right? And his name was Vinny, right? So he was this
Oh,
big fat Italian guy. And so eventually the cops found out about this dude, right? And so he was a real piece of shit, this guy, right?
sounds like a winner.
And when the cops finally cornered him, he put the gun underneath his chin like this, but deep, thinking that he was gonna hit himself in the brain. He
Hmm.
shot out his fucking nose, bro.
Ooh,
Oh,
He shot out of his nose, and he's still alive today. And that was like 15 years ago.
yo,
man.
you ever see that woman who was attacked by I don't know if it was a chimp or whatever kind of monkey?
Yeah, it was some kind of
Yes,
primate.
because she was
Yeah.
like feeding him Xanax or some crazy shit.
I don't know what she was giving him, but that dude like destroyed her face, and now she's walking around with like a cadaver face. Did you hear
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, I have seen
yeah, it's
that.
like bulbous. It's like a fat bulbous nose.
It's like that fish, you know that fish that
Yeah,
the bulb fish or whatever the fuck it's
that
called.
melting fish. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta think about it though. It's like you're kind of playing with fire. You got a little fucking orangutan in your house.
Yeah, who
You
does
know?
that? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
little
No,
meerkat or something. That's cute. You could fucking dominate him real quick. He starts slapping you up, and you just be like, boom.
I'm pretty
Like just be
sure.
like, chill out.
I'm pretty sure. First of all, I'm pretty sure she was fucking that chimpanzee.
Oh,
The lady, she let it sleep in her bed. That I'm 100% sure about that. She let it sleep in her bed, and I'm pretty sure she fed it Xanax. And what happened was, and it actually wasn't the woman who was feeding it Xanax that got attacked. It was the woman who came to visit her. She
oh, okay.
came to visit her, and she was like,
Ah.
"Hey, it's pretty weird that you're fucking this chimp." And this chimp's like, "Are you cock blocking me, bro?" And just ripped her fucking face off, bro.
He's like, I got a good thing going. Just,
Yeah.
just
you
took her face off.
I'm sure you guys have heard of that one scientist who was trying to teach dolphins how to talk.
Ooh.
So the woman who was part of the study, she would try to have the dolphin work, but the dolphin wouldn't work with her unless she jerked him off. So this woman started jerking the dolphin off, and
Yeah.
that's how she would coerce him into participating in the study.
Yeah.
I always heard dolphins were smart, but I mean, some guys aren't even that smart. They can't pull that off. Damn, I
The
gotta,
dolphin
I
was
gotta.
like, the dolphin was like, anal, anal.
Yeah, so all right, we're at like the 30-minute mark. So at this point, we would normally break for guests. I mean, not for guests, for what do you call it?
Snacks?
No, not for snacks. Uh, for damn, the word is escaping me. Oh,
Sponsors?
sponsors. Sponsors, that's right. Yeah, it's been so long, the word is escaping me. Um, but we don't have any sponsors at the moment. We're just starting back up. So, anybody that's out there, you have a new company,
Um,
just let me know. If you're starting a publishing company or something like that, hit us up.
First of all, this is a reverse advertisement. If you have a publishing company, end it now. And if you're
Okay.
thinking about starting one, don't do it. Worst decision of your life. Think of this as a very meta advertisement. This is an advertisement for your soul. Don't fucking do it. Sponsored by Triotonic. All right. There you go.
There you
Did you
go.
say?
Oh,
I thought he said.
there you go. I'm gonna have to like use that like chicken song noise over that one.
Yeah.
You're still using the E-Cig, Andrew?
Yeah,
I've,
it's
I've been
actually a
tricking
vape.
you. Oh, vape. Okay.
Yeah,
I call it an E-Cig still because it's like the
it's
stick.
made 2002.
I know, right? I feel like I'm walking with a cane when I say that. You're vaping. How's that going still? I know
Really
that a lot of the laws changed, so that's why I'm asking with the flavors and
did not New Jersey. I haven't seen any
well, I
flavored
mean,
New Jersey.
no, I know, but I'm saying didn't they stop selling flavors at one point? And
Yeah, well, I mean that's what I'm saying. They're still in effect. The only flavor I can buy is tobacco flavored.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
what I mean. That's why I was saying like I know that before they used to have like a myriad of flavors like
Yeah,
mango
Used to
punch
be
and shit like
Smurf's
that.
blood.
Yeah, no, Hulk tears, Hulk tears.
yeah. You like that one?
Yeah, I know that was my favorite. But now you can only get tobacco. But do you only get tobacco?
So I mean, look, if you can find yourself a little bodega someplace, or a Habibi market that that's got the stacks in the back, try and charge you $20 for like a $10 pack of two. So I mean, if you want to pay the extra, if you want to pay the premium, or if you want to take a drive, you can still get flavors. But yeah, I mean, legally, you can only buy like the regular tobacco flavors, and they're not that bad. I mean, you get used to it.
I gotcha.
I love how there's an underground world for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's why it's stupid to like make stuff like that illegal, or ban it. And you're just going to create a black market, even with drugs.
You create an even bigger business
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it should just be free market. Everything's legal.
And
You
and
know.
and the more lucrative it is, the higher chance that there's going to be crime associated with it.
imagine getting killed for flavored tobacco.
Bro, if you got enough crates
Like
of that
getting
shit, you
beheaded
might
by a cartel for flavored tobacco.
it might happen. You know, you got enough of it, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, so some of the other stuff that we wanted to talk about is like, it has been, how long has it been? Like a year since we did our last podcast?
It's been a little under a year, I think, since
Okay.
Jose and I have done our last podcast. But I think it's been about a year since the last time Eleazar was on.
Yeah, so I mean, some of the things I wanted to mention about that are just like, when the pandemic happened last year, we tried to keep it rolling, and it was like, it felt like, all right, silver lining, like we're gonna do it all online, and it's gonna be easier to get guests on because they don't have to travel to my house, where we were doing it.
Hmm.
But I feel like some of the part of the reason why we stopped doing it was because we originally started it with that in-person dynamic, and then now, it kind of like it was easier to put it off, and like, it was easier that like everyone was online. Um, I don't know. It just feels like meeting here together kind of kept it like on point. It was more like of an appointment and a real meeting as opposed to like a video call. You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
and it kind of it just kind of like took what would you say, like took the wind out of the sails of the podcast, and it was hard to schedule, but yeah, I know I even talked to Eleazar. We like coordinated on like doing some episodes together too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that
y-
felt bad.
yeah, no, but then like same thing. Now we're starting it back up. Andrew is jumping on. Some of the things that we talked about are like having a bunch of different co-hosts. Like Andrew. Like I know we talked about doing a episode or two every month. Things like that, and like people have reached out. So it might be a little different, but we're still going to try to keep the three-person format going, and moving forward with that. Now starting the new chapter. So it might be a more revolving door of people, but I think this is the first step in the third chapter, I guess, of the podcast. So I'm really happy about that. Like, what do you guys think as far as like like doing things video as opposed to like, I know you were doing shows, then you had to do like the open mics that were like a virtual open mic. Like,
Yeah.
how did that work? Like,
um those virtual mics, they're good for repetition. So when you're doing comedy, um you want your jokes to come out um perfectly, and also they're practiced so much that to the point where they don't sound scripted, but they're also scripted. And that's where you have to practice it so much to get it to that point. That's where Zoom shows are worth it. Because at least with Zoom, people are paying attention, even though it's not live. You at least know you can repeat your stuff and constantly just to get that repetition in and get that mental muscle memory. And that's really the only usefulness of Zoom shows, in my opinion. Um, and for anybody else, I really don't see how it helps an audience member. Like I've heard people say that Zoom shows have been great for audience members because now they can see really really big acts for like really cheap over Zoom and whatnot. But in my opinion, that doesn't make it better. It's just lessening the experience. So when live comedy does come back, maybe those people will be like, I already saw that guy in Zoom.
I
But like,
heard
yeah.
I heard an interesting quote from Chris Rock, who was saying, like, because they were talking about live performances, musicians versus comedians and stuff, and he was saying, like, whereas the musician obviously has an instrument and you can play that on Zoom or wherever, for a
Mhm.
comedian, the audience is the instrument, and
Yeah.
not having that
Mhm.
interaction in person really affects the performance.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of it. So 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 there's you have your jokes prepared, right? And then there's also the audience. And in the moment when you're telling your jokes, you're also if you've already told your jokes so many times where you know them like the back of your hand, when you're actually saying the jokes, you're not thinking about the joke itself. You're thinking about the crowd, and you're listening to the crowd. You're listening to the crowd. You're listening to their reaction, literally second by second. It's weird. It's weird because it's weird for some to explain it to somebody who doesn't do comedy. But when you're up there and your adrenaline's pumping, and there's just sitting this heightened sense of awareness. Um, it's almost like you're standing outside of yourself, watching yourself at a certain point, and and when it comes to comedy, uh, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought here, but but uh,
You were
shit.
talking about like you would like kind of feel the crowd, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
like
So
be
when you're
envisioning yourself out.
yeah,
Not hopefully not like a
yeah,
Biden feel in the crowd.
yeah, yeah. So when you're feeling the
Oh,
crowd, there's also that there's this weird uh people comics will
pride.
call it like almost like you're time traveling in a way, because time is moving so slow for you as the comedian, but it's like it's moving at the regular speed for the crowd, and you're thinking so much, yet your mouth is moving, yet you're not really in the driver's seat for your mouth. It's very strange, but it's like you don't get that experience when you're doing Zoom shows. You don't get that super meta time travel
I want to
deep.
know the venues you're playing, bro. Finding
No, no,
portals to another dimension and shit.
it's it, it's not even it's not like. So
It's like the
have you ever
dimension.
performed live for anything before, like maybe music or anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But with comedy is so feedback based. Like you could tell a fucking poem and everybody goes like this. You could play a song and everybody's like claps at the end. But with comedy, it's beat by beat, moment by moment. You feel those moments, right?
Feel like the pulse
Feel
of the crowd.
you feel those moments, you react. Even like the way somebody breathes. You might hear somebody breathe super hard. And you might make a comment
You'd
about
be
that.
like, "Fucking bitch."
Yeah, or somebody laughs really weird, or somebody drops a glass, or somebody walks through the room pretty weird, or somebody so some just some interruptions or additions. There's ways to in the moment that you call upon those moments and you make magic happen. But with Zoom, there's really not much, man. There's really not much. Like so I ran a 30-minute set over Zoom. And as I was doing the 30-minute set, what I realized is that, oh, I thought I had 30 minutes of jokes. I really have 25 minutes of jokes,
Hmm.
and in the moments when I'm doing that many, like, so I'll do a 20 minutes of jokes, but I'll do like 35 minutes on stage, because that 15 minutes extra is me reading the room and fucking with the crowd. So when I was doing that long set on Zoom, I was like pulling for straws. Like I was trying to pick anything, like, oh, this motherfucker don't have his mic on, like dumb shit like that, you know what I mean? And that's really where I feel like I've been explaining this way too long, but that's really
But you know what else? I feel like you
the
also
connect.
can't like do like crowd work. That'll be
Yeah,
really hard.
you really can't. I've seen people make videos where like, oh, how to do crowd work over Zoom, and and most of it's just being racist.
Yeah,
Most
because
of
you're
it's
being
just
really
being racist.
superficial. You're just seeing someone's face and their like body, like shoulders, and be like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
What about this? Let me ask you this. Do you feel like there's more trolls in the chat than there would be hecklers live?
Dude, have you not heard about Nazi Zoom bombers?
Oh, I have, but the thing is like how do they I don't get how they hack these Zooms.
I don't know
Like, what do they
either.
just like find any links online? They're like, anybody posts a link online, they'll be like, we're gonna hack this one.
So I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, right? And I'm a part of a lot of extra Jehovah's Witness groups online. And so I do these online Zoom shows for extra Jehovah's Witnesses, and we actually get big crowds for them, because extra Jehovah's Witnesses don't really have any entertainment that's directed towards them. So that's why I make the shows, just so for them. But so I go on these groups and I post the link, and I'm like, hey, if you want to watch the show, click on this link. And so this one show I did, we had 30 extra Jehovah's Witnesses in there. It was actually a pretty good Zoom call, Zoom show, whatever. And my set, my first 10 minutes was fine. Nobody interrupted. So what happened to be on the lineup was all black people and just me, right? And I'm the one who booked the show, produced it, everything, right? And so first black guy who goes on, halfway through his set, out of nowhere, a swastika comes up, and you just start hearing the N-word with a hard R.
Oh.
This N-word's not funny. This N-word's not funny. And then somebody playing. Somebody starts. Another person joins, and they're a picture of George Floyd comes up, and they
Ooh.
start singing a song about how George Floyd deserved to die, and just
Someone wrote a song about that?
yeah, somebody wrote like a folksy.
I bet that song is probably like really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Well, I mean, not just really bad. I just mean like the actual
The
music.
quality of the song?
Yeah, they probably did. They weren't even good.
It was number 10 on Billboard's hate chart.
Yeah, and you know what's
Once it
crazy?
got banned, yeah, the sales boosted like 10 times.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's crazy? So when we first started the show, we had 30 audience members that wanted to be there. By the end, we had up to 60 people. Half of them were Nazis.
Damn, but like, what I'm trying to say is like, how did they find your meeting out of all the meetings that day to
I
hack?
don't know. I don't
It's
know.
just someone that like probably was in your network or like anyone's network that shared the show, and they were like, oh, this is a good show. Like they probably saw that there was like a lineup and like the comedians were, African American, and they were like, this is probably a good show to do it.
The weird thing is that I had no pictures. With my flyer only had names, no pictures. All the links were posted in private groups. So if it was posted in a private group, it would have had to have been somebody in that group that would have been like, hey, Nazi friend, you want to check out this show with me later, and then send it to that person. You know what I mean?
But maybe a comedian that is doing that, that he's made secretly KKK,
That I mean, there are
Because
a
I
lot.
think it's really prevalent in the comedy Zooms. I heard.
What happened?
I heard it's like really prevalent in like the comedy show Zooms, like that this
But
happens a lot.
the Nazi Zoom bombs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't just happen to comedy
No,
stuff though.
schools too. Yeah.
I've heard it happens to schools. I heard it happens to synagogues, churches, bunch of different
I
places.
wonder if there's any like screen captures of like an incident. I would like to see some of them. I want to see how they come in. Like.
Honestly,
Speaking of
I just wanted to end it, bro. When all these people were saying the N-word and posting their swastikas, I just wanted to end the show. But all I did was, hey, I just screamed over everybody, over all the N-words, and I'm just like, hey, if you still want to listen to the show, if you still want to watch the show, message me on Facebook, and I'll send you the link to the second show. And so I shut it off from there. And then I got a whole bunch of messages asking for the link. And so I had to look up who these people were who were asking me for the link to see if they were extra Jehovah's Witnesses or not. And then that's who
What's like a good like trivia question that a Jehovah's Witness would know that like I wouldn't know.
I would just see if they were mutual, if they had a bunch of mutual friends that were extra Jehovah's Witnesses that I know.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, give me like a question you could quiz me with where I'd be like, fuck.
you got me.
For an extra Jehovah's Witness, okay. What's gonna happen right after Armageddon?
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I don't know that.
Aren't you like assumption into heaven,
trumpets?
body and soul?
What happened?
Isn't it like an assumption into heaven, like body and soul?
Nah, bruh.
No trumpets.
So what Jehovah's Witnesses believe, right? They believe that so when you die, you die. That's very clear with Jehovah's Witnesses. The soul doesn't exist. Fuck your soul. Soul doesn't exist.
Jesus.
Doesn't exist.
I didn't know that.
And Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in your soul. fuck that soul shit. That's the vibe, right? But with Jehovah's Witnesses, they believe so. A soul doesn't exist, right? But if you died and you believe in Jehovah and you believe in the religion, God will say your name and you wake up and come back to life, right? But the thing is, so when Armageddon happens, right? Armageddon, if Armageddon were to happen tomorrow, basically what Armageddon would be was everybody who isn't Jehovah's Witness would die, right? And the way they would die is that angels will come from heaven. Angels led by Jesus will come from heaven and brutally murder billions of people. Brutally fire
So it's like
heavenly
a rapture.
planes and fucking. There's no rapture, dog. There's just mayhem, mayhem, dog, mayhem. Everybody's dying except for Jehovah's Witnesses.
So that's why
And
they got like a little like what do you call it? They have like when they come to the door, they have some conviction in there, like, yo, you about to get murdered, son.
that's why they're like, bro, we're trying to save you, bro. We're trying to save you because they're gonna cut. Angels are gonna come here and cut your head off, bro. Like that. That's
What? There's like a movie like that, isn't there? Like
There's
Legion or
left
some shit like
there's
that.
leftovers on HBO.
so. So another thing about
Is that
Jehovah's.
the show? The name of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So another thing about about the Armageddon, right? So everybody who's a Jehovah's Witness is gonna die, right? What they don't tell you, what the Jehovah's Witnesses don't tell you at the door when they preach to you, is that yeah, everybody who's a Jehovah's Witness is gonna die, but the Jehovah's Witnesses who are alive have to clean up the dead bodies.
Speaking of later stages, did you guys watch the Super Bowl? Tom Brady winning his 7th Super Bowl.
I
Yeah.
did watch the Super Bowl. Yeah.
What I love about that guy is it looks like he's worked out less than I have, and he's the greatest of all time. Like
I actually
man,
saw this
the
meme
least
of him,
phenomenal body, bro.
and
he's,
it's just basically like a picture of him like every year since he started in the NFL, and his head shrinks. It's so weird. And then someone was like, "Why is his head getting smaller every year?"
yeah.
You
Remember,
look it up.
remember what happened to Peyton's head?
No,
Yeah.
Peyton's head got bigger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
That
that
shit-
HGH.
yeah,
Oh, it's definitely yeah.
he grew an extra forehead.
He grew an extra forehead. He always had an extra forehead, but then he just like he grew another one on that shit. You didn't
So-
watch the Super Bowl, Eleazar?
I was never a sports guy.
Gotcha.
I was only a sports guy when it came to like betting. Like
Oh, okay.
I would bet like game systems. I bet my N64 and shit like that over like sports games, but that's about it.
You don't have to do that anymore because now sports betting is legal in New Jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean I already have enough addictions in my life. Betting on shit, that's the last thing I need, you know.
They said that this past Super Bowl, after all of the states legalized sports betting, it was the most wagered on sporting event in history. Which is
Really?
yeah.
I lost money to my coworker.
Would you have a
Super
pool,
Bowl.
like an office pool going or something?
Nah, no office pool, just straight heads up money line.
Oh shit!
You know, like he bet me before the playoffs started that Tampa Bay was going to win the Super Bowl.
Damn, before
And
the
then I
playoffs.
was like, all that has to happen, like they could make the Super Bowl and lose, and I would still win. So I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck that, I'll take that bet. I'm like,
Yeah,
hell yeah,
those
I'll
are
take
great
that bet.
odds.
Yeah, especially. And then they fucking won, and it just made me sick to my stomach. Brady always gets some kind of fucking bullshit ass route.
So
And
the
then-
truth comes out now. That's why you're rooting against Brady.
No, I mean, first off, the Saints, you got fucking Drew Brees playing with like 9 cracked ribs. It's like, how fucking lucky can you get? Okay, fine. You know, the Saints lost their spot, you know, whatever. They make it into the playoffs, even though the playoffs were extended. So they were still going to make it somehow, you know, whatever. Carolina was looking good last year. Then this year they just sucked like fucking terribly. So whatever, he makes it. Then they get Washington with a 3rd-string quarterback. This is a fucking wash, and they didn't even play that good. They had chances to get beat. Then they play fucking. Who did they play after Washington?
Wasn't it the Saints?
It might have been the Saints. Yeah, it was the Saints, and then but Breeze was still hurt. Breeze was still hurt, and like the whole team was like in shambles. Then all right, fine, they make it to the fucking conference finals, and who do they play? Green Bay, right? And then Green Bay just fucking plays the worst game. There were so many bad officiated. The coach pretty much lost the game for them there. It was just terrible, and it's like, how can you fucking? Then they get Patrick Mahomes with like, he got fucking knocked out the game before. It's just total bullshit,
I mean,
Fuck.
look, now that he's out of the AFC East and the Dolphins don't have to play the Patriots with Tom Brady twice a year, I feel like I can appreciate how good he really is as a player without any type of resentment or anything. I mean, without going into the details of like what happened with Deflategate and all the cheating and shit, you have to admit he's definitely the best to ever do it.
Nah, I'm good on that.
Oh, come
But
on. Who's better than him?
Joe Montana was better than him.
No way.
Well, listen to this, because people want to fucking double standard it. They want to give Jordan that Jordan's the best, right? He never lost, undefeated. Joe Montana never lost the Super Bowl, and he won 4. And you know what I mean? Like, so like he first off, he had comebacks in the games. He was down in the Super Bowls. I mean, I think he won 3 actually. I might be misspeaking. But anyway, we can look that up. But there was a big game when he was down, I think, like 10 points in like the fourth quarter. He came back and won that. Brady has gotten lucky on his Super Bowls, like with the Falcons. The Falcons giving up what is like 24 points they were up.
Yeah, they blew that
was
hard.
stupid. That was just so stupid. The coach, I don't know, he shouldn't ever coach another team. Then you have the Seahawks, who could have ran the ball. You know what I mean? It's just so stupid. And then now you have LeBron, right? Like, let's say LeBron. I would equate LeBron to Tom Brady. You know what I mean? He's made it to 10 championships, only won like 4, but then people want to make it a negative to him that he made it to so many championships and didn't win them. But what about Tom Brady? He's lost a bunch of championships too, but all of a sudden he's the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
football is even more team sport than basketball. Basketball, it's just 5 of you guys, and LeBron is the one that carries the ball a lot of the time. Tom Brady has won a lot of Super Bowls because of his defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's not even. There's half the
Maybe scored a
time.
touchdown.
There's half the time of the game that he's not even on the field. LeBron is on the court 100% of the time, except the minutes he's not. But I mean, like, he plays both offense and defense. But then Jordan is the best there because he never lost. So then wouldn't it be Montana that's the best? You know what I mean? Like
There's so many different different things, specifics with every sport. I don't understand this obsession with calling somebody the GOAT of all sports. Like, have you seen this thing where they try to it's like Serena Williams versus LeBron?
Oh God.
No.
And they try to compare statistics, but it's like it's completely different scenarios. You can't compare the greatest of anything. You know what I mean? This isn't fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. Nobody's the king of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was 4 Super Bowls for Montana. Just wanted to reiterate that. I thought it was 4,
Brady.
but yeah, 7 for Brady. But it's fucking bullshit. Like, first off, the Tuck rule. There's a whole infographic about it. There's the Tuck rule. Super Bowl, it should have never happened. Deflategate. There's Spygate. Then there's the Falcons. Then there's the Seahawks. That's 5 right there that he shouldn't have of his 7. You know what I mean? And then aside from that, yeah, maybe the Tampa Bay won Todd Bowles MVP. Like the defense was really, it was just I don't know. I mean, the Saints before Breeze got hurt, they put a fucking hurting on them. Didn't they beat him like 40 to like 3?
Yeah, they
remember that first time they played. Yeah, they fucking like sunned them. Like, I've never seen anyone get beat like that unless it was like the Lions.
But
you know what I mean?
What's interesting about Brady and the Buccaneers is from week 12 on, they were the best team in the league statistically.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was in shambles, man. COVID. Remember the Ravens were killing it. Then they all got COVID like 3 times.
Yeah.
The Steelers were like, I was telling everybody, I'm like, they're fucking like, what do you call it? Fool's gold. Like they're like the best 11-0 team that's ever existed. I mean, the worst 11-0 team.
They didn't really play anybody competitive.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm excited for next season. Wentz just got traded to the Colts.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I'm excited about that.
Big
The
move.
Dolphins are trying to get Watson, but I just see that that's the only way. Yeah, they don't want to give up the picks. So, yeah, I think that's smart. I don't feel like giving up the picks anymore is the way to go. You want to
Yeah.
get the guy that's like cheap. You want to get the young guy.
You want to build him from the ground up.
Yeah, might as well just keep building the team so you have a fucking solid ass team and you just pick that quarterback.
Mhm.
You know. Yeah, man. But yeah, this was fun. It was like a little more loose than the old podcasts. I want to thank Eleazar for coming on. I know we ended the podcast on a little sports tangent, but we wanted to get that in there. Tom Brady being that little bitch that he is. But thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks,
This is the first of many, so hopefully, we'll do some soon in the future. I know you were interested in doing some with some of your friends, so we'll make some announcements. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Andrew, do you have any words to say on the?
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll see you guys again soon. There's lots and lots more to talk about. We a lot has happened in the past year with COVID, the election, and just mine and Jose's life. So maybe next time we could dig a little bit deeper and tell you guys where we're at.
Yeah, and we definitely want to get into the whole Robin Hood thing that we completely
Skipped
Yeah.
over.
skipped over, with the Robin Hood and the GameStop and all that shit. But
Yeah.
it's kind of good that we did because we could still analyze some of the shit that went down in Congress.
Yep.
You know,
Analyze. You got to
yeah, it's still
analyze.
it's still happening. Like it just like transcripts came out. Yeah, what was it, yesterday or the day before?
I think it was the day before.
Yeah, I think it's the day before. So we can still digest that a little bit, see how we feel, sleep on it. So next episode, if you care about Robin Hood, hit us up. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, Eleazar, Andrew, my co-host. I'm Jose, and this is the comeback for the Triotonic Podcast. Later.